is typically the same. You have people who are attached to their party, regardless of what happens, they'll vote for their party. Yeah. There are constituencies in the Volta region, constituencies in the Ashanti region. They'll tell you in the Volta region, there are constituencies. If you put a dog and put an NDC, flag around it, it will win the elections. Yeah. If you do the same in, say, Bantama or elsewhere, they will win the elections. People who don't have these attachments, they are looking to who has the solutions to the problems that we face. Yeah. Dennis, do you have those solutions?
Thompson, let me say a very good morning to our boss here and Sammy. And also, happily announce that, yes, every cocoa farmer in Ghana today and their children are excited that Cabinet has just approved for all children of cocoa farmers in this country to receive free tertiary education. And I think it's a big deal. And so that is the most refreshing news this week. And Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also went to the youth, and he tells them, based on all the foundation we've built over the period, over 2.3 million jobs created so far, but he's put in place and outlined clearly strategies to create 4 million more jobs in the next 4 years. And so whilst the cocoa farmers receive the needed skills for their children, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia provides the jobs for these young people.
Are these election panic reactions?
No, this election is a continuation of the successes we have achieved whilst we work towards resolving the ones that are outstanding. So, for example, if you hear a government that has given free senior high school education to over 3 million children, tell you that, listen, these children's next most difficult period is tertiary. And so this is my solution to them. You have no reason to doubt that government.
I said how many million children?
Over 3 million.
Over 3 million?
Yes. So that's
someone asked me the other day to ask you, do you give the impression that but for free SHS, all of these people will not have been in school?
No, we've never said that. What we've said is that but for free SHS, over 100,000 will be home every year.
Okay.
And that's a big deal. So, so in 8 years, you could have close to about 1 million who would remain at home. And that's like a big deal. And then also, even those who are going, I managed to go through secondary education, but only God knows the torture that I went through. So that's also some 30%, 40% taking away that. So if the state decides to invest in this space, it's a big deal. It's a real big deal. But to the substantive matter for this morning, I agree with Sammy. And I'm glad he's, departing from his party's, official position.
I saw an attempt to dilute what you may have brought up.
Of course, because we had a conversation yesterday. We actually had a conversation.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Samir and I had a conversation on the AM show yesterday, so he knew where I was going to come from. But the point is that, yes, people run all manner of things during elections. The numerologists, those who are looking in the skies, we have our local prophets doing their own thing. We have our posters, some are doing Agenda 1, Agenda 2. People are doing permutations. There's so many things that go on. And so anybody at all can use the American situation to, also make a projection. But clearly in scientific terms, in real terms, you can't use the American situation to fit into the Ghana situation. My cousins in Latte, they don't care about who a certain Donald Trump or Kamala Harris is in America. And the fact that they are going into the poll to go and queue to vote for party A or B because a certain Donald Trump won elections.
No, the argument that he's done one term and because he was rejected, he cannot come to power again. I'm talking about John Mahama. And now you have Donald Trump. Disprove that kind of campaign.
These arguments can be made in several forms. There's an argument that the Americans have realized the biggest mistake they made by pushing aside the Conservative Party as a result of his challenges he had with COVID. And so Ghanaians today are patting themselves and say, hey, look at America. Had we made the same mistake by voting for John Mahama in 2020, by now, we'd also be putting our hands on our heads like Americans are doing with Kamala Harris and begging for Nana Addo to come back. Because fundamentally, Donald Trump was voted out of power in 2020 as a result of the challenges he had with COVID. That's fact. And all of its management. In fact, during the COVID period, he had to spend a lot of time to explain why the inflation and the economy was going through challenges as a result of COVID. And he was constantly blaming the Chinese people for introducing all of these things. So after they voted him out, they realized that we voted out a conservative party and brought in these Democrats, and their situation is worse. So Kamala lost the elections because she was a bad government. Basically, that is what it was. She and her party, the Democrats, were a worse option to what the Americans experienced under Donald Trump. But it's not the same in Ghana. Under Donald Trump in America, he did not plunge the Americans into darkness for over 4 years. He never did that. Under Donald Trump in America, indeed, even during COVID, he had to make sure that they were making some payments to some public servants, even in those crises. But in Ghana, under the former president Mahama, 2013, 14, 15, 16 nurses, teachers were left on the streets. They were picketing to be employed. Nurses and teachers' allowances were removed. It happened under this government. Today you tell us, oh no, we never removed nurses and teachers' allowance. We replaced it with scholarship. Who in this country, which nurse or teacher in this country received any scholarship after they removed it? In fact, he told them that he was not going to negotiate with them. And that if it is as a result of the allowances that they will vote for him, then they should vote against him. So it is not the same. I mean, Donald Trump never told the American people that he was a dead goat, and that in spite of the challenges that they were going through, he was not going to listen to them. Mahama did. So I find it quite bizarre that instead of coming with solutions that confront the typical Ghanaian in Akuse, or Lower Menyanuaso, or Ayeswano, you are here talking about somebody being a former president. Yes, former presidents can always win power. Donald Trump is not the first person. Brazil recently did the same. It is no news. Former presidents can win power. That is why even some presidents can run for 4, 5, 6 times before they win. There's nothing news about that. The difference here is that not every former president wins power back. It is only former presidents who are deemed to be fit and proper and competent who win power back. And so that when I hear the NDC talk, and they list and outline all the challenges that this country is experiencing now, I laugh. Yes, there are challenges. There are real difficulties at the moment in this country. But nobody is going to vote for you because there are challenges. Especially because your leader has been president before. We are not going into the elections in 28 days on emotions. We are going into the 2024 elections on facts and our realities. So everybody is going to stand up and say, well, I am at the poll right now. I have a ballot paper. Here am I confronted with a vice president with its own successes and challenges in this government, and now confronted with a former president who was in power before. Now, of all the 12 or 13 people on the ballot, only one person has been president before. Only one person has been commander-in-chief before. Only one person has been given the mandate to run the affairs of this country before, and that's the former president. And you failed woefully. You were a total failure, and that's why you were voted out. So if you're going to come back, you see, Donald Trump didn't only come back to tell the American people that vote for me to come back because Kamala has failed. Donald Trump espoused cogent, clear policies to address the current challenges of the American people. Talk of the immigration laws.
A key point of his campaign was that Kamala Harris represented continuity of the bad of Biden's administration.
No, he spoke about specific issues, immigration.
No, I'm saying a key part
but
of
I'm
his
telling
campaign
you that the
was that she represented continuity.
Definitely that will come up. But the lead conversation for Donald Trump was on immigration, was on sexuality, abortion issues. He was clear. He told the people that vote for me, if you vote for this lady, she's going to let all these people come into this country. They are going to rape you. They are going to steal from you. And if you listened and actually followed the American elections,
eat the cats.
Exactly, it was quite clear that a bigger percentage of the reasons why Donald Trump is coming back to power is because of his immigration issues, because of his foreign policies.
No, the bigger
because
percentage,
of his foreign policies.
The bigger percentage, by facts, is because of economy, 66%.
I'm listing 3 or 4 things, so let me finish. Because of his immigration.
Immigration is second.
Because of his foreign policies. Ukraine, the Gaza situation.
He says he will stop the war in Ukraine before he is sworn into office. We are waiting.
Now, when you come to the economic issues, he listed line by line things that he did better than Kamala. And that is, for me, is what, if you really want to use Donald Trump as a trump card, you do in Ghana. You see, the teachers you left at home and did not recruit them, they are there, they will vote against you. The children that you denied the opportunity to go to school because their families were poor, some said, these children will vote against you. These are economic issues. You understand? The nurses and teachers were asking for better conditions of service. That you told them that you were a dead goat and you're not afraid of their strikes. Today they have received 3-fold increase in their salaries. They will vote against you. You see, the industries, the factories, multimedia here, people lost their jobs here because of doing so. These people have not forgotten.
Then you should not be campaigning.
No, we will campaign.
You make it look so...
No, we will campaign. No, it's not simple. We will campaign because we understand the human psychology. And we understand that somebody can even be hungry and you can let the person feel that he's full. And so when people are full or they are hungry, draw their attention. We are not naive.
Okay.
We are not ignorant of the facts and of the issues. But you see, today...
No, today, you don't reply.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia goes around and says,
it's supposed to be a preliminary issue.
This is what we have achieved in every sector, Samson. Okay. But we admit that we have economic challenges.
Right.
For example, he says, we have challenges in managing our city, but this is my solution. I think that we need to begin to back our currency with gold. And so this is my approach. In terms of jobs, this is my approach. In terms of health, this is my approach. He has never said anywhere that there are no challenges. In fact, Dr. Bawumia is never on record saying anywhere that is not part of this government. What he has done rather is to spend time to outline all the successes of the government and then indicate the government challenges and propose solutions to deal with those challenges. And that is what the Ghanaian people are going to use to take a decision as to whether they trust somebody who flip-flops. Today says that I don't believe in free SHS. If I have 2 billion, I won't put in it. Tomorrow comes, I'll do it. In fact, today as we speak, let me remind you, the former president himself is campaigning against his own campaign. He went to a constituency to tell them that, listen, the economy is so bad and I don't think I can promise you a stadium. Okay, now he goes to the voter region and says, when I come, I'll build you a stadium. So he himself, even in opposition, he is campaigning against his own campaign.
Thank you.
So when I hear them talk about campaigning against your own government, I find it quite bizarre.
Thank you, Dennis.
The fact is that... let me wrap up.
No.
Oh, by the time...
You have overdone your time.
Anyway,
so immediately...
The fact is that...
Immediately I announced the two of them. Some people have been sending messages and they say, today you are in trouble.
We disappointed them.
I'm trying to comfort them.
Come back before we do.
I'm trying to comfort them by saying that check who is sitting in between them.
Yes.
Okay? That's the towering figure who will moderate the two of them.